Welcome, Mayco family. I am happy to see all of you, even though a lot of you aren't here yet probably. We just went live like 5 seconds ago. But today, we'll be going over one of our new products. We have released 12 new products recently, and we are focusing on our new Engobes. We have 5 ongo products, ranging from the white ongobe, the speckled buff ongobe. So the white is 001, speckled buff is EG002, the brick red is EG003, the dark brown is EG004, and our black ongobe is EG005. So the point of today's ongobe lessons will be foundations based. A lot of the questions that we are receiving, I want to address everything just so that we have full clarity and we're all on the same page of what an ongobe is, its uses, what type of interaction it has with glazes, dinnerware safety, all of that. So we're going to have a well-rounded discussion today. There will be different moments where I will be able to respond to questions, and I have a team here to help me with those questions. So feel free, any questions you do have, it will be moderated, so leave it in the comments section and we'll get to it. So what is an ongobe? That is a discussion that we had, and that is something that with such a versatile product, a lot of times you'll have, by definition, a wide array of different uses, different functions, and a definition that might seem confusing, but I'm here to clarify what an ongobe is. So an ongobe is similar to an underglaze, but material-wise, it's high clay content. Let's think more of a slip here. And the easiest way to kind of understand its use and its definition is we have 5 different ongobes that you can use to coat your clay with. It is very different than an underglaze, meaning that it won't stick. Some of our underglazes will gloss and will stick to the shelves. So our underglazes will not stick. You can coat the bottom of your piece. But to touch real quickly on that point, all of our testing is done in-house with our own Mayco kiln wash. So I stress kiln maintenance, making sure that your kiln shelves are clean, you're wiping it down clean every use. If there are textures or weird areas where you need to clean or grind, just make sure you get a nice fresh coat of the kiln wash on there. Absolutely feel free to use Mayco's kiln wash, but just like in anything in ceramics, there are many different variables. So I want to stress that our ongobes do not stick within our variables, which is using them on our Mayco kiln wash, fire to cone 6, cone 5, even upwards to cone 10. So just wanted to clarify that right now. So why are the ongobes something that you would want in your studio? There's been many great discussions, not just here at Mayco, but as we hit the road, our customers, different feedback, and Clay Shercon was a great one. And one of the things that have been identified as far as how you can immediately kind of change and transform your own studio practices, you can use it as a pottery coat. And I know that many of you might use only one specific clay body. Some of you are limited to one specific clay body because you don't want to deal with the hassles that might come with a black clay or a speckled clay, because there are many different things that kind of hinder being able to approach those different practices. And so one example is I have 5 chips here. These are our new Vase chips. They have a nice texture on them. Let me get some of this out of the way real quick. So let me organize this. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go in order here. I just want to reintroduce each of these ongobes individually. So we have the first EG001 white ongobe. And this white is a pottery coat, if you're thinking of it as a pottery coat. I don't know if you can tell the difference between the white stoneware, which we use in-house and all of our testing on. This is a white stoneware slip. These were slip casted. And then if I turn this around, just notice the brilliance of the white that you're getting using this as a white pottery coat, the Engobe 001, EG001. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit closer and kind of turn it and let the light kind of show you that it's a nice, cool white. It's not too cool. It's kind of in the middle ground between the warm and the cool. It's just brilliant. It's a nice coverage, and it settles smoothly at 3 coats. And I want to just talk about that real quick. On the pints, you'll notice that we suggest 2 to 3 coats. That is because the EG001, which is it was the late Engobe to make it to the kits. It's because we're really putting in the work and the diligence to make it exactly what we wanted. So it is exactly how we want it. It is brilliant, it is white, and it is a great coating. If you, it's not translucent, of course. If you put on a non-translucent clay body, you won't get that porcelain translucency, but you will get that brightness, and it will interact with your glazes in such a way. It'll brighten things up. It leaves a nice smooth surface for your glaze to kind of travel and do its thing on. So that is, again, EG001, and the glaze on top of it is micro cerulean. That is SW217. Look at those crystals. All right, on to the next. Any questions that came through already?
Bunch.
All right.
If you mixed a mason stain into slip, is that an ongo?
If you mixed a slip, so slip is a slip, and Engobe is a product very similar to a slip. The Engobes are used in a way where, you know, how we see it is, like, if you want a true black Engobe, if you mixed, you know, black mason stain into a slip, you might have similar results, but one thing that we know for certain is that this is a very durable material. It will fit to different clay bodies. If you're using a slip, it's particular to the clay body you're using. A lot of times, if you're making your own slips, you have to use the same clay to formulate that slip. But this is a product that you can use. There are different shrinkage rates to different clay bodies, right? So this is a product that we have tested on different clay bodies and different firing scenarios, and is formulated to adjust to those nuances of, like, how big or like how expanded the clay body gets during the firing, and it will stick to the clay body of your choosing as long as you fit within our parameters of cone 5 to cone 10. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
There is no L. There's no L in Engobe. There is definitely an ENGOBE, and it is Engobe, like on and then gobe. It sounds like globe, but it's not. There's no L. Again, there's no L. All right, Engobe. It is not spelled with an O. I'm just trying to stress the fact. This is how I learned in kindergarten. I remember my teachers kind of up here doing wacky things. You can pronounce it however you like. We're just going to look at our screens and kind of be like, man, I wish that L wasn't included, you know. It's okay. It is Engobe. That's a question that we receive a lot, and we are here to answer those questions. So.
Are these high fire?
It is high fire. So high fire versus mid fire. A lot of times there is like it's not confusion. I guess different companies describe things differently. Mid fire we call mid fire like the cone 5, cone 6 range. High fire, cone 10. It will go up to cone 10. Again, if you don't want them to stick. A lot of times what we see, we are firing kilns rapidly. There are a lot of different tests going in our kilns, so we maintain the shelves, new kiln wash, as well as we can. But we'll get to some of the examples. They're kind of buried in these stacks here, but when we get to it, I'll point it out. There are some instances where, say, a glaze crumb, say like there was an overflow of glaze and pulling that piece off a shelf, or something wasn't cleaned properly. Those are the only moments where we see the ongobe sticking. If a little crumb of crushed glaze gets onto it and it fuses in that area, yeah, we have seen that for sure. But as far as the material itself sticking to kiln wash itself, no, it is refractive enough, and the ongobe interacts in a way where it will not fuse.
Are they best applied to greenware or bisque, and which one might be better?
Well, today I brought. Okay, so which one will be better? I'll answer that one first. I definitely like to apply the ongobe on bisque. That's my personal preference. But I have not yet gone through a workload where, say, I have 100 cups that I have intentions of using an ongobe. Is ongoing, I guess I have a question, and maybe someone could answer this. Is ongobing a proper word to use? We say glazing, but I will use ongobing for now until I'm corrected. So if I have 100 cups that I want to ongobe, or during the process of ongobing that cup, say I'm sitting at the wheel, we have done tests where you can ongobe a cup fresh, like freshly thrown, and I have that example right here. All right, I'm even going to turn this sideways, it might pop off, but what is it? Sorry. Oh, there's a dual. This is beautiful. Dual action. So this was thrown 10 minutes before we went live here. I made sure that I did metal rib the slip, the throwing lines in the slip. I wanted to make sure that I got that material off of the surface before I approach it in such a way where I can say that ongobes can be applied on freshly thrown ware. You do need to get all of those interferences and all of those surface inconsistencies off of your piece before you do that. You don't want slip and slurry on there. You want to make sure that you have a nice surface, even in its wet, freshly thrown form. So yeah, and I will be demonstrating that. I guess to address that question, I can just show you right now. Why are these banding wheels so heavy? All right, that's a nice top down. All right, that works. So right now, this is a porcelaneous stoneware rated for cone 6. And right here, I have the stoneware ongobe, EG005 black ongobe. And I will be showing you how to apply this. I'm actually going to be tilting this so that everyone can get a good look as I apply it. Normally I'd keep it on the banding wheel, but this will be a good stilt for now. And I'll show you how it reacts to it being wet and receiving a wet product. So I shook this up a little bit. And I'm going to be using one of our nice fan brushes here. Look at that. That's going to give a nice even coverage and spread. So I just want to talk about the coverage. This is the same coverage that should be applied to freshly thrown work, leather hard work. I've even done tests with bone dry, and the only reason why we might not want to push it as such is bone dry is very fragile, and if you rehydrate bone dry work, you're really, you're stepping on that fine line of, is it going to be able to withstand that type of rehydration, or that trauma, if you will, of rehydrating it, because it will start to not want to be itself and crumble. But I have tested that. I will have a very hard leather piece that I can quickly show you as well, but let's just get right to it. Freshly thrown. Don't worry, this piece is not important to me, but I want to show you how fresh it is. Look at that. Ooh, we can make a little face. Let's make a little face. Get a little. All right, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's looking a little weird now, but here we go. You see that? Freshly thrown. and we're going to use the other side here. Nice smooth surface. And I will show you how I'm going to ongobe this. So we want 2 to 3 coats. Our products, glazes as well, they are formulated and we are very well known for our products and their brushability. There are organics and gums used to really allow for such versatility within our product line. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to load this brush right here. And here's one brush stroke. I'm going to keep this moving. And you could probably assume this, but what I want to say is, why do I like brushing on bisque more than, say, freshly thrown clay? And that is because bisque, I don't have to wait as much time in between the coats. So bisque is fired. It is completely rid of all water content. It is porous, and it will take that product pretty quickly, and it will dry quickly. This, on the other hand, it will dry, but it just adds time to it. But there are pros to cons to everything. Say I'm throwing off the hump, or say I have a wheel or hand building, you name it. Say it makes the most sense to ongobe a piece directly after finishing it in its wet form. I'll go ahead and do that because I can put one coat on and then set it aside, let it dry, and continue through my workload, and then just hit them again whenever the next opportunity makes sense. So I'm going to hold this up a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't plop off the bat. But look at that nice even coverage. Sorry. I'm going to try to turn it so that the light can hit, and you could see with just one coat, up in the very center close to the rim, you could see where it's kind of thin. You could see the clay behind it, but just with little effort, one coat, I have some nice coverage, and I would love to have this I want this completely dry before I put on the next coat, because the last thing I want to do is to rehydrate or just to pull. You could even pull some of that first coat up if it is not properly dried. So I will say 2 to 3 coats. With 2 coats, you can get really great coverage with each of our Engobes except the white. The white does need 3 coats. So I'll set this aside. I'm going to let this dry. It is still wet. But if this was a bisque piece, you can expect it to be ready for another coat very soon. All right. Set that here. All right. If there are not any immediate questions, I do want to just talk about dinnerware safety, or just food safety in general with all our products, just so there's no confusion. All of our products that are not labeled CL are food safe. Everything that does have a CL on the pint or on whichever bottle this product is in, that is labeled as not food safe because of the copper content. And is that correct? Yes, the copper. Yes. So aside from that, everything is food safe if it does not contain the CL. All of our Engobes are food safe. Not all of them are dinnerware safe. And that is because we need a coat, at least a clear coat on top of it to consider it dinnerware safe. When there is not a clear coat on it, there is some absorption, but yeah, we do consider them dinnerware safe if you put a clear on top of it or a dinnerware safe glaze on top of it. Yeah, so yeah, hit me with some questions.
Got a bunch here.
Got a bunch. All right, let me get this banding wheel out of the way. Give me the hardest one first.
Oh, goodness. Will it help add extra protection from hairline fractures because of the extra coverage?
Protection from hairline fractures? So are we talking, I guess I'll ask this and maybe it'll show up later, but if we're talking S-cracks, or if we're considering this product to be used in such a way that it might be a Band-Aid of sorts, any preventative measure, I can see it helping if that were to happen. Maybe you might not even notice it if it were happening behind it, but say you have an S-crack or a hairline fracture, this product is definitely not intended to paint over that area to create a new surface of clay that kind of overrides any type of structural damage that your piece might have experienced. Is there anything else to that question that you could identify that does that touch?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a great surface. If we're talking in the same realm of things, it can be thought of as a great surface, a great vehicle for your glaze to perform on. So say you have you're trimming your piece and you get those ridges and you sponge it down, you try to get it as smooth as possible. It is a great way to add that last finishing layer of a smooth clay surface if you want to approach it that way. I love the way the glaze flows. A lot of times you'll have different clay bodies that have silica or different inclusions that peek through. Say you're using a sponge to really clean up a piece. A lot of times that takes away the fine particles and it reveals a lot of those refractory bits of sand and silica and what have you. And those can actually create glaze issues. So we have seen glaze issues decrease dramatically with the use of these Engobes, especially I want to grab EG005 black Engobe. This is the Engobe that I just used on that freshly thrown piece. And here you can see in its raw, there we go. In its raw form right here, this piece was glazed to cone 6. The glaze stopped, the application ended right around here, right where that line is between the raw Engobe and the glazed area. And it is nice to see the glaze interaction. Here is, let me see. Yeah. Actually, that's a bad, okay. So the inside of this cup, you could kind of see this has like some bluish, greenish tones. The inside was not Engobe, and you can kind of see the glaze interaction will change depending on which Engobe you use and if it's just raw clay body. But what I wanted to talk about with the black Engobe, the surface issues. So I don't know how many of you have used a black clay body, but a lot of times, and we can attest to this, we've done, with all of our new products, we tested on as many clay bodies that our marketplace will be using. We want to be able to have products that are accessible by everyone, not just people that use white clays, not just people that paint your own potteries. We want to have the most well-rounded product that we can offer. So a great way to think about our black Engobe or any other Engobes that you could kind of think of clay bodies in those similar colors that might have given you issues. I know the black clay bodies out in the marketplace that are commercially available, a lot of times they bloat. A lot of times they have surface issues that are just, they are known within users that use black clay bodies. So we have seen that our black Engobe has completely eliminated a lot of those different issues that we see. And you can expect it to perform in such a way where if you wanted a black clay body, but you were kind of deterred by how it performs and your loss rates and all those things, you can get a nice, beautiful black clay finish. You can have that glaze interaction, but you can definitely expect it not to offer those same issues that you might be experiencing with a commercial black clay. I know I'm missing a lot because Engobes, I think like if you can mispronounce something, there's a lot there. So we're going to go over all of it.
Does the white stay white at cone 10 oxidation?
The white stays white at cone 10 oxidation. If it goes beyond, say you're firing a wood kiln or a soda kiln or just like a gas kiln, or in oxidation if you have a hot spot in your kiln that is closer to 11, 11.5 to a hot 11 or 12. Once we've done all of our testing to a proper cone 10, anything beyond that, I misfired a kiln once, for example, where cone 12 was down, and that turned it into a glossy finish. It looked like a glossy glaze. So the window that we have that we say that this performs within is cone 5 to cone 10. Nothing more, nothing less, until we do the proper testing, and we come to you and we tell you so. So please work, if you're going to get these Engobes, which you will, please work within cone 5 and cone 10.
Can you slip trail?
You can slip trail, and we recommend you testing. You need to test. We all have our own studio practices, our own variables. We have done some minor slip trailing, and by that, what do I mean? Not building up too much of a thickness. We don't want this product, so we recommend 2 to 3 coats. Say you start hitting it with like 4 coats or 5 coats. Especially on textured areas, you might see the ongobe wanting to lift. So the thicker you go, the more you will see the shrinkage come into play. So we recommend these being used as a coating. Say you want it, not limited to that, but I definitely wouldn't let it dry out, thicken it up, put in an applicator, and start adding raised textures. If you want to be subtle with it, say you just want to use the white ongobe on a black clay body, for example, or vice versa, you can definitely use it as a slip and use an applicator or paint some designs, but I definitely would not build up a thickness that goes outside of what the thickness would be for a 3rd coat, if that makes sense.
This question's been asked twice. I did answer it, but you can answer it better. Is clear glaze C300? That's matte. It's a low fire clear glaze.
I knew that. I'm just kidding. Yes.
At cone 10.
Yes.
Can you use it or not because it turned glossy for this person? And what's the better option for a high fire temperature?
Can you use that? So will that clear glaze at cone 10 be a safe coating for the Engobes to make it dinnerware safe? Is that kind of the...
This person is saying that it turned glossy for them.
Okay.
What's a better option for high fire?
For a clear?
For clear matte.
For a clear matte at high fire, I would have to, I don't know, do you have...
002? 003?
At high fire, there are a lot of variables. We've seen glazes that we try to replicate at those temperatures. These are, our stoneware line. They are mid-fire products. I can't really give you an answer that I've witnessed myself. Yes.
Stoneware matte clear.
Yes.
SW002. It does develop a slight gloss at cone 10.
Yes. So are they saying that it's going beyond the gloss? Is it?
They're getting a glossy finish from the low fire clear at cone 10, which we would expect.
Yes.
They're asking for a
better alternative.
SW002.
Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Sorry, I was completely not getting that right. Yes, SW002. It's our stoneware matte clear. That was not developed for our low fire range of products. That was developed for our stoneware line, which is cone 5, cone 6, and we do test these all the way up to 10, and that would be a great suggestion as a replacement for, what was the name of that low fire clear?
C300.
C300, yes. Thanks, Caitlin, by the way.
Other than sticking, what are the advantages over slip or underglaze?
Other than sticking? The advantages we're talking slips and underglazes right now? Compared to using an ongobe. So I guess the difference would be an ongobe, you can expect it to work on all clay bodies. Slips, again, are more in alignment with specific clays. So for example, say this was not a beautiful black ongobe, but it was a black clay body. If I were to make a black slip, I would use this clay body to make that slip with. And I would not put that same black slip on, say, frost porcelain, which is a cone 6 porcelain, with a different shrinkage rate as the slip, because you better expect this not to perform. If you use this slip with this type of work, with this shrinkage, it'll perform in such a way. If the shrinkage is correct, in alignment with one another, you won't have surface issues, it peeling away. But if I have something that doesn't shrink as much as a porcelain, and if I were to use that slip that shrinks maybe 8% and throw it on a body that shrinks upwards of 22%, there will be some cracking, maybe some peeling. You could expect some surface issues for sure.
Can you mix these?
Yes, they are intermixable. with one another. I think the white creates a great opportunity to try some other familiar techniques such as marbling, such as tinting. You can, I see a lot of nice different tones you could get. They will be within the, the white to black. You can get grayscale or different tones of brown, tan. But yeah, they are definitely intermixable.
What about with Sgraffito?
Sgraffito, beautiful. I love that you brought that up because I expect that to be one of the most popular techniques that might pop up. And I urge all of you to start testing. Grab some of this because we love tagging, our loyal Mayco family. We want to see what you come up with. We want to share what we come up with, obviously, but we're all in this together if you really think about it. So, yeah, Sgraffito, you can get that on, say you get the ongobe on a freshly thrown cup, let that dry, get 2 to 3 coats on there, and then as it's drying in its leather hard stage, you can really take advantage of this product and carve away and do all of that. You can, if you have the right tools, say even if you have bisque, right? If you have a piece of bisque, you ongobe that. You might need to work out a little bit more, but you can definitely carve into that material. Diamond Core has some great tools. They have a Diamond Core tipped Sgraffito tool. They definitely recommend it done on leather hard work or even bone dry, but I've done testing where you do it on bisque, but I am not working for Diamond Core. I will say that there are opportunities to Sgraffito with this product on bisqueware.
Do the brush strokes show when fired?
The brush strokes should settle if we're staying within the confines of 2 to 3 brush strokes. Just like the glazes or any other products where if you're familiar with Mayco, anytime you see some horizontal patterning or melt, we want you to get the product on there, but change it up, go crosshatch, go up and down, just lay that product down as smoothly as you can. And you don't want to take your time to the point where it dries on you, and then you're kind of fighting that timing mechanism where you have some dry areas of that first coat, and you're still working at it to get that coat on. Work with what's best, the speed. Work within the speed that's best comfortable for you, but just understand the more direction you move with your brush, and if you can get it moving, don't take breaks, just get that first coat on there, you'll find the best success. Definitely don't use old brushes or brushes that will leave material within the ongobe. I have seen on a few pieces where I'm using, we take great care of our brushes, but sometimes some people don't, and I'll grab that brush and the bristles will fall off into the ongobe, and all of a sudden you are creating fossils of brush bristles. They will remain in that fired result. So clean your brushes. Say you're putting it on with your hands, whatever. I did not suggest that, but whatever the tool you're using, make sure it's clean and make sure you're getting that on there as smoothly as possible.
To make it dinnerware safe.
Yes.
What do you have to put on it?
You can put on a dinnerware. You could put on a clear glaze, or you can put on a dinnerware safe glaze of any kind. So these Engobes are stoneware products. I would say pick a stoneware glaze of your liking, and make sure that stoneware glaze is dinnerware safe. And then once you put that on the Engobe, you can deem it dinnerware safe.
Do glazes on top act as they normally would on clay? Stay stable, fluxes still flow?
Yes, so I can expect that's a great question. So say you're at cone 10, you're using the white ongobe that has the lowest melting point, I would say, of all these ongobes. We've seen it gloss earlier than other ongobes at higher temperatures. You might see some difference in the melt. So looking at the ongobe as a vehicle for which the glaze melts and runs down your piece, you might notice different action, different patterning. But at cone 6, we've seen it not add to any mobility. It creates less interferences, which, as in that itself, maybe it will run a little further. We haven't seen that. I'm just saying maybe that's something to keep in mind when you test these products within your own practices. But it creates a smooth finish. You don't have this brush stroke marks or the sponge marks. If done properly, you have a nice, smooth area. Contaminants that would have been on the surface, say if you had bisque laying around for a while and you just like glazed it, this could definitely help eliminate some of those issues because it's a fresh coat, it's a fresh pottery coat, and yeah, if you have fun with it and explore and make sure that everything I'm telling you today is something you take in consideration, yeah, I definitely don't want to confine anyone to a box. Think outside the box, test accordingly. But yeah, we could definitely expect these glazes to still perform the same, but you just might see little changes that you fall in love with.
Someone would like to see more of the different finishes you can get.
Okay, so finishes such as like glaze interaction, maybe?
I don't know.
Well, we could start there. All right. Well, let me put out some of these dessert bowls. I want to clear out some of this. I will not be glazing this piece. We saw it on fresh clay. This is just another step towards the drying process. This is a hard leather. It gets on there. You know, I painted this when it was leather. This is a hard leather now. I was going to show it, but if anyone wants to see that type of material, reach out to us. We're always preparing for new material, and we do expect to have these videos like soft clay, leather hard. We'll have all of that as we continue to push this product. But I'm going to set this aside, and we will go over just some. We'll kind of mix it up, and I'll kind of describe what I showed you. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, so this is one of my favorite glaze combos here. Let me make sure I get this in order. Okay, I have to remember rectangle, so I could fit this in the rectangle. Here we go. I got you, Kelly. White, black is here. We have dark brown. All right. Speckled buff. All right, so I'll be grabbing these front, going around like this, and I'll hold up so you can kind of see the glaze interaction. So here we have EG001 applied on a white stoneware body. And I'm going to kind of rotate this so you can kind of get a feel for the color and the glaze interaction. I want to move it slowly in case we're buffering and you can't quite see the detail. But look at how brilliant and vibrant and saturated those colors are. You don't have a filter on this, do you? No? All right, cool. Like that was like an infomercial scheme, but look at it's brilliant, right? So this is the inside. Yes, this glaze combo is just a brilliant glaze in general. You might say like, oh, I really don't see the difference on the inside to outside. I would say see for yourself, but just notice as I roll this over, you get that candy, that like Jolly Rancher look. That super saturated, brilliant white background is interacting with your glaze in such a way where it really pulls out those little things that make people drool over your work.
What's on the inside? Ongo or no?
The inside's no ongo. Yeah, and the combo is micro pearl. That is SW214 layered with 2 coats of SW108 green tea on top of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful combo. We'll get into micros later on. I'm sure you're itching to ask about the micros, but we have all that for you. We have it all planned. And we're going to just go right down the line. Here, again, this is the same combo on all 5 of these bowls here. This is EG002 speckled ongobe. I want to see the light hit those little deposits. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the speckle, but what I want you to notice, and look at that, it's just a beautiful glaze combo. Look at the specks and how they're interacting just as if a speckled clay body would for glazes that work with it. Not every glaze will interact with the specks in such a way where you can see it all the time, but just notice on the rim here, all of those, there are no additives to this glaze combo. It's not a glaze combo with crushed up frit or the crystals in it. This is just the speckled buff interacting with that glaze melt. That is beautiful. And I just want to show you, disregard that little orange. This was coated, each of these bowls were coated on the bottom. This has no adhesion to the kiln shelves. And again, we are testing everything within our own variables, which is our Mayco kiln wash. It's a great kiln wash, very dependable. And as you can see, if you are seeing some things within your own practices and you want a kiln wash that will work with these Engobes, maybe a bunch will, but we know for certain that ours will. So hit us up, get some kiln wash. All right, next one, brick red Ongobe, EG003. That is a beautiful brick red. You know, I don't want to hear people saying, well, my brick's redder. No, this is like my home in Youngstown is this brick red. So this is the brick red Ongobe, EG003. Check out the difference. I want to hold up, let's hold up the white versus the red. We'll do this, right? Here is a really great way that you can see the interaction, that glaze difference. That's beautiful. You see a lot of colors getting pulled out of having a darker background. Some of the blues, the purples, even oranges sometimes. This is a game changer. These products will make your life easier. Not only will you have to you know, start thinking about these processes differently. Like you have to all of a sudden, well, what do I do with all this clay that I bought? I just bought a pallet of you know, black clay. I'm not saying don't buy that clay. I'm just saying look at these as an alternative and something way more accessible. All of you struggling with like financial decisions or just like the burden of like cleanup. All the tools you have to clean up. Say you have 2 different wheels, one's for porcelain, one's for your dark clays. Look at these and really consider how this might transform the way you go about in your everyday studio life. I can't, this is like, I haven't seen it this cool. It's really cool with these bright white lights on it. All right, I'll set that down. And let's go down the line. Again, same thing. For those of you just joining and want to know right now, this is Micro Pearl 2 coats, same glaze on the inside and the outside, Micro Pearl 2 coats. That is SW214 with SW108 green tea over top of it. And here is a great way where you can see no Ongobe. That is just the same white stoneware. No, there's no Ongobe here, and you can see on the rim here versus no Ongobe. This is the dark brown Ongobe EG004. Again, another beautiful result. All of our glazes, so just so you know, we have unlocked a world of possibilities, not just with our Engobes. I do want to throw out a little, check this out to the micros. Micros are doing work. They are transforming our color palettes, but also our combos just by themselves, they're beautiful, but start getting excited about the micros. We're going to be hitting you with the basics and some beautiful examples as well, but this is Micro Pearl with green tea. I'm sure you've never seen green tea like this. Very exciting. Again, bottom didn't stick. This isn't magic. There's no Sharpie on it. Good. And lastly, EG005. This one is the most dynamic, and just speaking personally, within my own art practice, I used to soda fire. Anyone that loves carbon trapping, loves those dark edges, this is a product that will give you that glaze interaction, but where it thins out, it can really be this dynamic accentuation that you can build volume with your work, you could get depth, and that glaze interaction, it has a little bit of everything. And there is not an Ongobe that I did not have these really awesome discoveries within. But this one, the black Ongobe, it really pulls out those nice blues. And say versus the dark brown, maybe on camera they look the same, but I want to do a side by side. I see some more purples on one, some more blues. You can see the rim is dark brown here, and then truly black on here. And you see the sheen, it's not gloss, that cone 6. these products are a must-have for all of our new and old customers. Definitely need to get some. What's next? How are we on time? We got 15 minutes. All right. I have some combos. Are there any? If there are a lot of questions, we're good. Okay. We will be furthering this discussion. These are the basics to Engobes. We will be, maybe that's me or me and one of our new employees here, Mike Harbridge. We have a lot to tell you, and there are a lot of things that you have to tell us. We're going to discover all these things together. Tag at Mayco Colors on Instagram. Anytime you make a discovery, we love to hear it. We are all in this together, a huge community trying to evolve the commercial glazing game. So here is a piece. I'm going to turn that around. So let me get these out of the way. No, that's a nice background. Yeah. Okay, so this vase is stoneware. You can see, oh, there's a towel inside of here. It's like a magic trick. All right, white stoneware. This is white stoneware. Where on here, sorry, that's just some clay from my hands. Where on here would you know that immediately? If I was holding this, I'm not joking around. This feels and looks like a clay on these bare areas, and it is the EG005 black ongobe, high clay content, matte when it is not covered in glaze, but yeah, it has that nice little sheen to it. We do have bright lights in here, but this was a piece that was used only with our new products. We have micro pearl glazed everywhere. First, we do have a beautiful product, a wax resist. Mayco does make their own wax resist, so everything was used in-house. We used the Mayco wax resist to paint the floral designs, and then I glazed everything in micro pearl. All right, so after I let that dry, 2 coats of micro pearl. The third coat was fossil rock. Fossil rock, third coat, painted over everything. And with the wax resist doing its job, I had to wipe away in some areas, but you can see how dynamic of a surface those new glaze colors that you've never really seen before within our products, this action right here. I mean, these little drippies. This is, we have entered a new phase of Mayco Colors. It is our 70th year anniversary. We are very excited with this release, and it just gets better from here. So we will be furthering this conversation. Again, if there are any more questions, I'm here as long as they're coming. So yeah, have fun with our products. You could pick up our new 2024 stoneware kits. Just ask your local distributors if you need that little introduction into these and you don't want to commit to a full pint. A lot of these places are selling for $25, $30. I don't know the exact price range, how high they go, but it's a steal. You can learn a lot from, what sizes are they, 2 ounces? 4 ounces. Okay, 4 ounces, I think you get 12 products. You can get Purple Aster, which is this one right here. Purple Aster is, here we go. So Purple Aster, I'm losing my mind right now as far as like what this comes from.
Lavender mist.
Lavender mist, sorry. Purple Aster, the base glaze is lavender mist, so we have the crystals in there on top of a dark brown ongobe. So you can change the hues of all your glazes. Normally on a white clay body, this will have less gray tones and more of that purple, more of those floral hints. But yeah, it is exciting, and we're here to share it with you. Make sure you check in. Stay on top of things. We'll definitely be uploading some YouTube videos in the near future. We'll have thorough, in-depth, and not just coming from me. We have a great team. Each of us have our own discoveries within this testing and our developments here. So we'll have a nice widespread, we'll have a team effort in showing exactly what these products do. So.
Are they available at distributors now?
Yes, they are. Are there any distributors that, like, maybe overseas? I don't want to misspeak here, but they should be.
They're available at distributors, but check them directly for availability.
The only reason why they wouldn't be available is because they probably sold out. But I'm not saying they did. You can help them sell out by going to your distributor and buying these things. They're awesome. And really quick, last one. We still have time, but I don't want to miss this one. This is not a combination of two different glazes. What it is a combination of glaze interaction in two different ways. Black Ongobe EG005 on a stoneware bisque. This is Micro Pearl SW214. That is not blue underglaze. That is not micro cerulean. That is an overlap of the white pearl with the black ongobe, and it's pulling out those blue crystals, those blue undertones, that phasing. Game changer. I feel like a broken record, but that's fine. It's worth it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm the one nerding out now. Here we go. I have to show this one, cenote. This is a side-by-side on the cast line here. This is speckled buff on one side and just the white stoneware on the other. And we're doing this with a lot of different glazes. So with our new combos of the month, we're always going to have Engobes. It will be a part of what we show in our new developments. But you can see that interaction, left versus right, A side, B side. There's some beautiful, beautiful things to discover. But this one in particular is Micro Pearl with cenote. I can expect winterwood. We're still doing testing. It is impossible to keep up with every single glaze we have for what's being requested, but that's why we asked you to do some testing as well. We are pumping out some amazing things. Cenote, this is a must try. Grab some cenote, grab some Micro Pearl, and start exploring with or without ongobe. But you definitely want to, on a black ongobe, say that overlap, you're going to see some cool stuff. I've gone over everything that's on paper in my mind, questions, but I am welcoming anything else, even if anyone here has questions.
Where else can they ask questions?
Where else? So any questions that I have not covered, or if there are any specifics, if you're for some reason having issues, we always suggest you go to technical. The email for technical support is
technical@maycocolors.com.
yes. Again, I don't know if that was picked up on the mic. Technical@maycocolors.com. We have a great technical team. We are here to answer all your questions. We're here to offer support for all your issues when they do come. And we all experience that. I was a potter for 12 years. That it is impossible to live a life in clay and expect it to just be this pristine thing that everything works how you want it all the time. We're here for you, so ask away and capitalize on our well-rounded team here. We're here for you. Make it Mayco. We love you.